is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Bristol Flyers Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, wherever you're watching or whether you're listening. Happy to have you with us. I'm Joel, he's Sam. I'm Joel, he's Sam. We've got producer Dan over there. It feels quite weird the start of this episode, I'm not going to lie, because normally you will notice that we have this little sound desk here.
They might not notice.
And we usually wear headphones. So I'm listening to everything. I'm listening to the little sound desk bits, the little jingle at the start. I'm listening to our voices, making sure our levels are okay. Producer Dan usually has a microphone as well. He hasn't got a microphone today. Because producer Dan went and broke the adapter for our sound desk.
So that's going to be coming out of your pocket money, Daniel. Your own personal pocket money,
The great thing is he's not got a microphone to fight his own corner, so we can just keep blaming this on Dan.
Yeah, and Dan, the room really smells today, and I think it's your fault, Dan.
Yeah, everything's on Dan today.
He's agreeing. He's going, yeah, it probably is. Thanks, Dan, for agreeing with us.
So yeah, it feels weird because we can't hear ourselves, so hopefully we're coming through at a good level for you today. Sam, how's your week been?
Yeah, good week, Jolie. I had a stag do in Norway last week.
Norway?
Yeah, Norway.
This way.
Which we... Yahweh, which was stunning. If you ever had a stag do where you just spend all the time doing hikes and saunas and steam rooms and what, that was the best one I've ever been. I love Steve Devereaux, don't get me wrong, but that was the best one I've ever been on. So can't wait for yours one day, Joe, if it ever happens.
Don't tell Steve Devereaux, mate. He'll be mad.
He'll be mad.
he'll be mad.
How are you? What's new in your life,
I went
Joe?
skiing, mate.
Did you?
Yeah, I went skiing during it wasn't the international break, it was just the week we didn't have a single Flyers game. So we're like, right, let's go skiing and let's go out and have fun. Outdoors.
And it was fun, was it?
It was great fun.
It's good snow?
It was great. Oh, it snowed really heavily for the day we got there, and then it was sunny the rest of the week. So it started to get icy at the back end of the week. My girlfriend would be like, oh, you're complaining about the ice, it's nothing. But actually, it does get a bit slushy.
Well, I literally thought she was in the room with us then. That is exactly how she sounded, Joe.
She's away for the next 3 weeks, so she probably won't be listening to this podcast.
Yeah,
So
pie at your house then.
That's it, exactly that. Coming up on this week's show, we got Jonathan Brown joining us here in the studio. Great chat with JB. Great guy, just such a professional, isn't he?
Yeah, honestly, and there are moments where like he goes on a monologue for a while, but me and you just sat there like listening intently because it's really interesting, isn't it?
We hear all about his basketball journey, growing up, starting to play. I'm over here, Dan. Woohoo! Hello. Dan's fallen asleep.
Trying to fix that little thing again, Danny.
Dan's fallen asleep on the cameras again. We learn all about JB's growing up, getting into basketball at a late age of like 13, 14 after playing football, and how his college career has helped propel him to where he is today with the Bristol Flyers. Great chat. You're in for a treat. Without further ado, Sam, I think we should just get straight to it.
Let's go. Let's get to the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. Here is this week's chat with none other than Jonathan Brown.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast. We are powered by Matchday Live, and we've got a very special guest in the studio. Are you ready for this intro, Sam?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Our guest this week is one of the standout performers for the Bristol Flyers this season, from earning EABL Player of the Year honours at Canterbury High School to a strong college career in the States, capped off with a 2024 NAIA First Team All-American honours at the University of the Cumberlands. His journey has been seriously impressive. He started his pro career in Ireland with the Sligo All-Stars. He joined the Flyers this past summer and has made an immediate impact. And his performances this season have earned a very first senior men's call-up to the Great Britain national team. He's a content creator. He's a home chef. He even cuts his own hair. And right now, we've got him here on the Bristol Flyers podcast. Ladies and gents, please welcome Jonathan Brown.
Hello.
Jonathan, what an intro that is, brother. Did you hear that?
Thank you.
What do you think of the intro?
You make me sound like I do a lot of things.
That's the best intro I've ever heard, Joe. You
He
do.
does do a lot of things. That's what I was saying. He does do a lot of things. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's only taken us all season to actually finally get you on.
I'm excited to be on. I think it's different because I do a lot of things anyway. So it's kind of like the Flyers see me a lot.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's literally, obviously we see you a lot with the vlogging that you've been doing for us this season. You essentially make my job easy because you go out and get all the cool content and I just put it all together and put it on the YouTube channel.
Love it. That's what we need.
We do really appreciate you this season. Thanks for taking time out your busy week to join us on the podcast. Just tell us how you're enjoying your time in Bristol so far.
I'm loving it so far. I've never really been to Bristol prior to like playing here. So
Never once.
Prior to playing here, no. Like, I've played here a couple of times, but I never just came to Bristol to come to Bristol. But it's a lot better than I thought. It has a lot more things. I thought it was kind of like countryside, but it wasn't. It's kind of like a mini London, kind of. So it has a lot going on. So it's cool for me, like, to be able to go out, see things, see different like things I've never seen before. But for the most part, I'm enjoying it.
So what were your first impressions of Bristol then, as an outsider before you moved here? What were, you're saying, oh, Bristol Flyers might be interested in you this season. What was your first impression?
I thought it was middle of nowhere, man. I thought it was going to be cows walking around and sheep and stuff. Man. But you know what? Pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
Have you seen any cows though? There are some.
Yeah. I've seen some. I can't remember where, but I've seen some. I've seen some sheep, some horses.
Yeah.
Some duck, geese. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically in the countryside with a couple buildings. I mean,
it's a very big city, Bristol. For those that aren't too familiar.
Where are you from originally?
West London,
Whereabouts?
like Hounslow, Brentford area.
It's big, built up.
Yeah, concrete jungle type of thing. Yeah, standard London.
Not far from here. It's actually not that far to get here, is it?
About hour 45 if you're speeding.
Which you're not, right?
No.
Good.
Never.
No.
Never. Talk to us about your Flyers experience so far. Then, has it been everything that you've expected coming in?
Yeah, it's been one of those things where I kind of knew that for me, I'm coming off like a rookie year. That was pretty good, and I knew I'd be coming into a role that I'd have to embrace myself. And obviously, there's always ups and downs with any role you play in any sport. So for me, it's been good. It's exactly what I expected, and it's just for me taking the opportunity I get and grasping it the best I can.
I remember when you first joined us, and we had a conversation, and I sort of reached out to all the players when they first signed and get some quotes for the press release. And one of the quotes that sort of stuck with me when you first joined us was that you said that you used to watch the Flyers back when you were playing in the EABL.
Yeah.
So you used to obviously know, so you knew of the club, you were familiar with the club, you've seen players come through the club. As an outsider looking in, what were your impressions of the Flyers, and how much has that kind of changed now that you are a member of the first team squad now?
Yeah, so I had a couple of kind of like my older guys. So Disraeli Lufadeju used to play for like Leeds, and then Khalil used to play for Worcester at the time. So they played against the Flyers. So for me, I'd watch their games and I'd see the Flyers, and my kind of initial was like they play really, really, really hard. Like that's their like MO for a lot of it, and that kind of choice hasn't changed at all. Now I'm here, we play really hard, and a lot of stuff comes from playing hard, and I think it's a really good situation.
And I remember one of the big things that you said was key for you in terms of wanting to join the Flyers was that it's closer to home, and you're from London, so it's not necessarily home, but essentially it's a couple hours down the motorway.
Oh yeah,
it is a lot closer to home. How much of a deciding factor was that for you in wanting to come and play for the Flyers to be closer to home?
Not massive, just because like for me, nothing's really holding me down anywhere. So I could play anywhere and be perfectly fine. I think it's definitely an added bonus to be able to go home whenever I want, to go see family, friends, and be kind of like open to just be able to do it, basically.
How often do you go back and visit family?
I would say most weekends I'm free. Really? If I can, yeah. If I get like 2 days on a weekend off, or like I'll get a random Monday off, I'll probably go back and see, because take the bus, £5-6, it's nothing crazy.
So good.
Obviously, we had London last week on Friday. Did you have a lot of friends, family come to the box to watch you?
I had everybody pull out, man.
Yeah.
It's nice to have, because I've been gone for so long. This is like my first time back in England for 6 years-ish. So for me, like, a lot of my friends haven't seen me play in live. A lot of my family have never seen me play live. So it's nice to be able to have people like come and support me and kind of see that times have changed.
That is. How old are you?
25.
Okay, you're a little older than I thought then. That's cool. So yeah, you went away for 6 years, but your friends didn't see you when you were like 18, 19 playing or whatever?
Like, not really. I mean, I've been gone since I was 19. So I've been gone. I played in Ireland. Ireland's not really a place you just turn up to.
Wow. It's true. It's true.
So yeah, then I did 5 years in college, did my year in Ireland, and this is my first year back.
I love that. Oh, we are going to dive into your career and your journey through basketball later on as this episode rolls on. But one thing I really wanted to dive into on this episode was your recent call-up to the GB national team, because it's a huge moment in any player's career. Just talk us through that moment, because you were, as a player essentially your performances for the Flyers have put you on the radar for the GB national team, and you earned that first call-up to the camp just over a month ago. Just tell us how much that meant to you to receive that call-up.
It was awesome because I started basketball kind of late. So for me, I didn't think that the national team was ever going to be kind of a thing for me. So I kind of go about my day how I do. Like, I play basketball as hard as I can for myself and everything. And if things kind of come, it's a blessing when they come along. So for me, my first call-up for the juniors was under 18s. No, it was under 18s, 3-on-3. That was like the early days of 3-on-3. They kind of scrapped it after that and then brought it back a couple of years later. But after that, I played 5-on-5, and then I kind of took a hiatus from the 20s and stuff. I didn't really want to play, so I went straight to college. And then now it's pretty cool because to be quite frank, I always thought eventually I'll make the national team call-up because I kind of have this unwavering confidence in myself that eventually stuff's going to work out because I'm going to make sure it works out, essentially. And so when the call-up came, I was, happy to get the call-up, to be recognised in that kind of upper echelon of British basketball players is a blessing in itself. And so now it's just keeping that going and eventually being part of like the next generation that comes in.
It's a huge achievement for you. So a massive congratulations for getting that call up.
Thank you.
Just talk us through that moment though. So what, you get is it a call? Is it a text? Like, what actually happens when you get a call up? Like, who actually texts you? I've always wondered, like, what happens?
Dan Clark gives you he texted me because I'd spoken to him prior, but he gave me a text and he asked me if I wanted to, be involved with the camp coming into the last window. And obviously I said, yeah, I jumped to the opportunity. It was during the last international break. So everybody is, I don't know if whatever, the guys that are watching this, the international break is when everybody that plays FIBA takes a week off and every national team comes together and they play together. And so it was during the break and I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump at the opportunity. It was something I didn't know if I was ever going to get a call up this year, but, it's nice to be recognised and it makes me quite excited. I was excited at the time to get the text and be kind of recognised in that sense.
Who was the first person you reached out to once you got that text?
I called my boy. Yeah, I called my boy Ade. Yeah, FaceTime. I was like, yo, bro, I got the real call up. I'm going up. So I called him first and then I called my auntie. Yeah, those are the first two.
Yeah. That must be like a really special moment for you because it's like almost like a culmination of like all the hard work and you like you say, like you have a confidence in yourself knowing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But then to actually see that in practice happening in front of your eyes, like that must be so special. That it's such a big moment and just I kind of want to dive into the camp in a bit more detail because essentially you're there for like a week, right? And it was in Newcastle, this training camp, wasn't it? So you go up for a week, and you're staying in the hotel there.
Yep.
You're based with. Is it at the Northumbria or was it at Newcastle Eagles, the main of the training camp?
Mix of both.
Mix of both.
Yeah.
And you're mixed in with players that probably throughout your junior career you've been used to going up against, but now suddenly, and you probably played with them briefly at under 18s, perhaps at junior level for England, for example, or GB. But now you're in an environment where all these guys, some of them are overseas, some of them you played against, but now you're all on the same team working towards the same goal. Talk us through sort of, how that group, what the culture's like amongst that group of players.
Yeah, sure. So funny enough, I think I'm the only one from my national team, like under 18s, that's with the national men's right now. So it was quite humbling and really cool to be like, no shade to anybody else, but like I'm the only one still here, which is pretty cool. And then for the most part, like a lot of guys that are in camp are a lot older than me or a couple years older than me. So for me, I'm looking at guys that even when I was a junior, I was watching. So it's quite nice to be able to learn and ask questions from guys that have done it and are still doing it to an extremely high level, because that's eventually where I want to end up, those kind of levels. So it's nice to be in those kind of environments. And these guys are like super close-knit. You would think they're like a massive family. They do this together multiple times. Like Jelani was there as well. And love Jelani, by the way. If you guys watch the next vlog, he's going to be in it.
Just saying. Yeah.
Have you known him for a while?
Yeah. Because he's London. He used to play for Newham Young Bloods and stuff growing up. And I don't know if you guys ever watch that Hoots Fix mixtape. Everybody talks about that one. But
that guy.
Yeah, so everybody's there, like super cool. and like the basketball community it's spread, but everybody knows each other. It's like it's super close knit. So a lot of these guys, we all know each other. We might have not been in the same environment. Like for me, for example, it's my first time being around a lot of these guys in like longer capacity, but definitely a lot of fun.
Who are the other SLB players who are up there?
So it was the long list, but a couple guys got hurt and stuff. But it was me, Kane unfortunately got hurt, Kaim unfortunately is hurt, Tariq Phillips, Aaron Rye was on the list, Dean Williams, Ethan Price. I think that might have been it, SLB wise.
You mentioned Dean, obviously, because he came through the SGS college pathway, and played for the Flyers back in 2014. 15, and to see his development, and he's just sort of one of the few players, I guess, that from a Flyers point of view, that have gone through that whole journey. Players like D'Lo that have gone on to play for the national team. And you look more recently, you have players like Ben Mockford, Teddy Okorafor, and then you have Jelani, and then Evan Walshe, for example. And you essentially are the next step now from a club point of view in terms of the Flyers helping players get that opportunity to be presented into the national team picture. I think that's something the club prides itself a lot on as a Flyers. I mean, Coach Kapoulis obviously has been part of the national team for a number of years as assistant coach, but for us, it's hugely important to give players the opportunity, British players, to go on and get those GB call-ups. And it's a huge achievement. Was that something quite big for you when you were coming in and you're sort of seeing these guys come through and play?
100%, because I feel like, you know, as a league as a whole, obviously it's a 6 American league, so it can be tough for young British guys to break out through teams. And credit to Bristol, they're one of the teams that genuinely gives their British guys an opportunity to play, and that's something that's invaluable in the league, especially because, you know, if we're speaking about it subjectively, a lot of guys don't want to go to countries that people don't speak English. They end up in different situations, and so for you to be able to play at home, for your family to come watch the games, and to be able to actually play, a lot of people would like that. And so Bristol's able to put that in place for a lot of people, and good things come of it. Like you have a lot of, like you said, you named the guys that got GB call-ups. If you sit and you don't actually play, you don't get those kind of call-ups. So I think it's something that's a big draw-in for Bristol, and I think they should forever keep doing it.
That's nice. How nice is Quinn as a player?
Quinn, he wasn't there when I was at camp.
Was he not there?
Yeah, because the EuroLeague plays up until the Thursday of international break. So he came in before when they went to Italy.
Have you seen apparently he might be going back into, there was still the rumour, he might be going back into NCAA?
Yeah, I've heard some.
How old is it? Is he young?
It's
22.
It's like the new rules. So like under NCAA now you can go back in. So originally if you played pro you couldn't go back into the NCAA, but now you can go back, and there's like things like Duke and
because it is
Kentucky
pro now.
Yeah, so
because the money situation.
Yeah, so like I've heard some incredible figures of money coming in, but he's got like Duke, Kentucky, like the big time blue blood schools, and you know what? Good, because he has a good year, he'll be in the league.
Yeah, well that's again.
For sure.
Well, it's one of those ones, isn't it? You see a lot of players come over from Europe to play in the NBA, but actually, I still believe that the best route, or the best route to get yourself seen by as many people as possible, is to go through NCAA and be at one of these top powerhouse schools.
Yeah, for sure.
In March Madness.
Although, did you see Duke's loss the other day? That was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
That was wild, wasn't it? And
They
the odds for
threw
them
that away.
losing or winning, whichever way around, was crazy, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
they threw that away. That was insane. You just have to hold the ball.
Hold the ball, and there were 2 open guys. You fake one, and you get. Do you know what I mean? It was.
We'll take the foul and shoot the free throws.
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
we've all been there. I remember Flyers had a game like that a few years ago against Plymouth, where we turned the ball over twice from an inbound, and they forced double overtime. I think it was Plymouth.
Wasn't that where all the players got, when all the players got like kicked off the
No,
game?
that was it was a home game.
Home game.
that was a separate game. That was,
Yeah, that was another wild one.
Yeah, that was wild as well. Crazy games we've had over the years. Just sort of going back to our chatting about the GB national team and the camp and stuff. Just talk us through perhaps some of the guys on the team that you were closest with, that people may not know that you were closest with.
Yeah, so Jelani, obviously, just being in and around London, being around workouts during the summers. A lot of guys were new to me. A lot of guys, obviously, I'm cool with Carl as well, Akwazi. But for the most part, a lot of these guys kind of like new. But everybody was super nice. That's one thing, I think the British basketball community does have a stigma around it of everybody's not very nice and they're all closed off and this guy and that guy. Everybody's super nice. You just have to talk to them. We don't really give off the nicest energies face-wise, which is not the best. We need to do better. But No, everybody was super nice, and I think now, like even when I was playing in London, like I dapped up Dean. We were chopping it up a little bit, and it was good.
How many guys, a bit like someone like Owen,
Mm-hmm.
have got a British passport but have lived in America since they were like a child, but they still come and do the GB program? Is that a thing?
See, there's a thing. So they're called naturalized players. So you can only have one naturalized player on each national team, and in the previous window, it's been Tariq.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because he's British American.
What, as in born in America?
Yeah, I think he's from Brooklyn.
Like if you've got a British passport.
Yeah.
So like Aaron Rye falls into that category.
Where was he born?
He
was American.
He's
Canadian.
Canadian.
I
I think
think.
he's Canadian.
But
like you only it's one, isn't it? In
one
the
each
final
team.
12.
Yeah.
But what if you were born in the UK and then moved to America for like?
So
Is he still
you have to
naturalised?
get your passport before the age of 18 to be not considered naturalized. But if you get it after 18, you are naturalized.
Talk us through like some of the obviously on the court. I imagine the intensity, or is it? I mean, what's the difference in intensity, perhaps in training camp, the on court, going at each other 5-on-5,
Yeah.
compared to like what you do week in week out with Flyers?
So let me just give you like a quick rundown of how the week went. So obviously most of us I came straight from Sheffield, so we played Sheffield, and I took the train straight down to Newcastle, and the Monday was a lighter practice. A lot of guys are either flying in or they've just finished games, so guys are like either beat down, tired, and whatever. So it's like a lighter day on the Monday, shooting, running through the plays, and then Tuesday, Wednesday were like intense days. Like we were playing 5-on-5, going at it with each other. We split obviously into blue and white. The blue was the starters, and so the rest of the white team was other guys that obviously were in contention to make the team and stuff. But it was a good, very intense. Obviously, which we're gearing to play some of the best players in the world. Obviously, Greece, Italy. Italy at the time was 15th when we played them. So like, we're not playing terrible people. So you have to keep that standard up in practice to be able to keep the standard up in the games. So we were going at each other on Thursday.
Did you body anyone?
No, I didn't. I had a very solid camp though. I feel like I put myself out there very well. I think it's because a lot of the coaches in there haven't seen me play in that kind of environment before. So it's good to be able to kind of showcase myself and highlight that, I'm someone that should be in consideration for the next gen of the GB situation. So then Thursday was more of a scout-ish practice, scouting Italy, helping them out. And then Friday they played Italy. And then me and Ethan unfortunately got cut. So we came home and then they played Italy on the Sunday.
Ethan is in Caledonia, Ethan.
No, Ethan Price.
Wait, who's he playing?
London.
Oh, London. He's London. Yeah,
Lions.
sorry.
Yeah. Obviously,
nice.
you mentioned not making the final 12-man squad, but I imagine regardless of making that in final squad, you must have had so many takeaways that you can now bring back to your Flyers experience.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that you can use now to push forward into the next training camp.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's one of those, you meet some of the most professionals ever. Like, there's a reason why, Gabe's been playing almost 10 years at this point. Like, there's a reason why these guys Gabe, Miles. There's a reason why, and you can see by the way they act as professionals. They make sure they do everything prior to practice, post practice. They're always recovering. They always make sure their body's in the right position. Even the talking aspect in practice, like the little things make a big difference. And I think that's something I'm definitely taking out to put into myself, because I always consider myself very much a good professional. Like, I look after my body, I eat well. But there's no one's perfect. So I know I have lapses where I could be better, and I know I'm getting to that point where I should be more aware of myself so that I don't make these things. So the next generation below me sees me as something that they can kind of mold themselves over after.
So what do you feel is next in terms of the next steps for you now, in terms of to consistently get yourself to that point where not only you're getting called up to the long list, but actually to break into the squad and get that first, second, third cap?
I think it's consistency for me. Even throughout the whole year, like, I've had consistent and inconsistent situations. Like, it's just, I think for me, this is the first time I've been in like a really big professional situation where everything's run the same way, and like the league's very high level. And so for me, it's more being consistent on the court. Like, I've had good games, I've had bad games, but I want to be able to have that line that stays, and there's just little ones rather than big drop offs and trying to find the middle again. So because I think physically I can hang, completely. Like, I'm very athletic, strong. It's just more so that consistency. And I think after this year, having this year underneath my belt is going to be a big catalyst for myself coming up.
And I think there's also, the fact that you're getting the experience of playing EMBL, for example, this year, where and we have so many guys come on the podcast and they're like, the style of playing EMBL is so different to SLB.
It's completely different.
Slower and it's more methodical. But when you're playing for GB, these are the kind of styles of basketball you're going to be going up against with different countries.
100%.
So having that experience at club level of playing European competition would certainly put you in good stead, right, going forward in terms of playing internationally for the national team.
Yeah, that was even a drawing for me when I was coming to the Flyers as a whole. Like, there's not many teams in Europe as a whole that even play European basketball. So to be able, regardless of level, you're putting yourself on that kind of pedestal. And if you play well against those teams, you can have more eyes on you, especially the national team, to the point where, okay, he's doing it in a European system. Like, I compare the SLB to more of like an NBA type of style of basketball. Like, it's a lot more athletic, fast-paced, up and down. The EMBL is a lot more set. Like, we're going to run this play till we get a good shot. Like, it's all that kind of stuff. And so I've actually thrived in the EMBL this year compared to my SLB campaign. But I think it's just more so carrying that on into the final 6 games of the regular season.
Yeah, I love that. And obviously it's a massive achievement for you to get called up. So let's hope it's the first of many call-ups going forward. And yeah, we're all really proud of you at the Flyers. And just keep smashing it, mate. We absolutely love it. We actually had you vlogging that week, didn't we? We spoke about the vlog. If people would have seen the vlog on YouTube over the years. I've seen a lot more of the vlog than a lot of other people have, with all the other outtakes and things that have been cut out of the podcast, cut out of the vlog episodes that have that aren't suitable for perhaps the usual Flyers fan, but they're all still fun.
What do you mean, Joe?
Can't possibly say. But look out for that episode coming very soon, because we are going to, well, when I get a chance to edit it together, I think we're going to, this will be the last bit we're filming today, right, for that episode. So that will be coming to you in the next couple of weeks. Keep your eyes peeled. And that sort of teased me on quite nicely to actually another little section I wanted to chat to you about, which was your hobbies and interests, because we talk about the basketball side of things, but the podcast is a chance to get to know JB the person and JB not the player. Do you see what I mean? Like, as you as a person. So obviously, in terms of your hobbies and interests, you have so many hobbies and interests, and anyone that follows you on social will know exactly what your hobbies and interests are. But just talk to us about some of the things you like to do away from the basketball court.
Yeah, so big into cooking.
What? That really surprises me. Every other Instagram reel.
That's the point. I love the kitchen. It's kind of like an escape for me. Like, I'm able just to put my music on, be in there by myself, and just start creating. I like cooking over baking just because I still do bake, but I feel like baking is one of those exact sciences you can't really add and experiment too much, because it ends up changing a lot of the complexion and the stuff of the final product.
Yeah.
But cooking, you can add, take away, add some more, make it your own. So cooking's a big one. And then obviously I cut my own hair. I wouldn't say it's a hobby, more so of
a hobby. You're cutting your own hair, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Pastime.
It kind of came around because of COVID though, because the barbers doubled the price of their cuts, man.
Genuine.
Yeah, it went from like 20 to 40. And I said, you know what? I don't get money like that. I was in college. I didn't really get money like that. And I used to get cuts every 3 weeks. So at that point,
you're fresh, haven't you? You know,
you have to.
Yeah, but I know about that.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Long hair. You got. You know what I mean?
Tell us all about it.
But no, yeah. So I cut my own hair now.
How'd you do that? Talk us through your haircutting process. Have you done that on a video already? I don't know. I missed that.
I haven't actually. But so I have one big mirror in my bathroom, and I have a little hand mirror. And then I have the mirror up here, and I'll cut my hair from the back, and then if I'm just from the side here, get it all in. And then I recently just cut all my hair off, kinda. So I'm now to Afro look rather than a high top, because personally I think I'm a little bit too old for a high top.
You're 25, bro.
No offense to anybody that has a high top, by the way. It's just my personal take on it.
All people older than 25, right?
Time to cut off the high top. Cut the high top 2026. Yeah, that's a new take. But yeah, so I cut it off. Now I got like more of a mini fro growing.
Do you ever miss a bit and you realise when you're out and about, you catch it in the mirror?
I actually have. Oh, it was embarrassing. Yeah, when I first cut my hair, obviously I don't know. It's like whenever you do anything for the first time, you think you're amazing.
Do you?
Well, I did.
That's the confidence coming through.
That's my like delusional confidence. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's not a lot I don't think I can do. Anyway, yeah. So I cut my own hair.
We're going to test you later. I'm going to make you
And-
sing for us.
So I cut my hair and I was outside and I thought this was fresh as hell. There was no fade. It was just one and nothing. And I thought I was fresh as hell. Everybody's laughing. My teammates are clowning me like, bro, your haircut sucks. I said, bro, nah, this is the freshest cut out. I'm your new barber. They all laughed at me. Yeah, so then at that point, I never went outside again until I made sure it was right.
I love that. Incredible.
Yeah.
And also, the fact that you turn it into content
Yeah.
for your own channels, and it's actually really refreshing to see players understanding the importance of creating their own content. Now that, with the rise of socials,
Yeah.
players have the ability to be their own creators, to get their personalities out, to be their own brand.
Mm-hmm.
And you've actually gone into places like SGS, for example,
Yeah.
and you've spoken to the kids
Mm-hmm.
at the academy about the importance of doing that as well, just how important it is for athletes to build their brand online.
Yeah, super important. I feel like that's a lot now that needs to be done more often because social media is a dangerous place. It can be used to help you or used to be a detriment to you. And I've seen it gone both ways. And it's one of those things where a lot of people don't understand that wherever you want to go, it could be a regular corporate 9 to 5, or it could be a professional situation or college. Someone is looking at your social media in some capacity. It could be like your job. You could post something that you shouldn't post, and someone's seen it. Now you're taken off that list for that job just because you thought it wasn't that deep, quote unquote. But I talked to these guys and I told them, like, look, a lot of this stuff has to be cleaned up. Like, yeah, you're of age to do all these kind of things, but you don't want people perceiving you in that way. And I think also a lot of basketball players need to kind of quit this mysterious thing. Like, no one cares that you're this mysterious guy that doesn't post on social media. The regular Joe doesn't know what you do, and they would kill to be you. So show them what it is to be you, and let them experience and see that, like, because people always say, oh, he gets paid X, Y, Z to kick a ball and a goal. There's hours and hours and hours of stuff you don't see. You just see the game day. And I think it would educate a lot of people and kind of show them that there's a lot more that's gone into just being the game day part.
So you like that Haaland did one of his own vlogs where he's on a few
Yeah.
hours? I thought they were quite cool, actually.
100%, because he's top of the top. But people say, oh, he gets paid £400,000 a week and he misses the shot. Yeah, but you don't see the 10 hours, 12, 30, 14 hours where he's training, he's recovering, he's eating right, this, that. If something's off, you can tell. And so, yeah, I think it's very important. I think it's important because it can also highlight your own brand for future teams or wherever, that they know, they can see it physically that you're actually doing these things. So.
Well, we want to see you cut your hair on video next time, okay? It's happening.
We can do it. I ain't none. I'll cut your hair.
Oh, no.
Okay. You look at your hair, man. What do you reckon?
I don't let anyone. I don't know. I got a lovely man called Neil from Flex Barbers on what's it called on North Street. Cuts my hair. He's a lovely man. He comes to the Flyers actually sometimes.
Brilliant.
He's a good guy.
Shout out Neil, man.
I just want to go back to the cooking content because there's a whole bunch of stuff to unpack on the cooking content you've been posting online. Just where does your love for cooking originally come from?
Interest. I watched a lot of cooking TV shows when I grew up. I don't know. Shout out Guy Fieri. I watched Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I used to have a Skybox. I used to record every episode, thinking I was going to make it, knowing damn well I was never going to be allowed to do this in my own kitchen at home. But I recorded it anyway, thinking I was going to go back, watch it, take the recipes, and da-da-da. But I never did. But a lot of these things, like, it was just a genuine interest for me. And I think it's that creative aspect of making something mine. And I also like cooking for people and letting people enjoy my contribution type of thing. So that's kind of like my love for it. And then honestly, like, it's just fun. It's just fun.
So you had Milos joining you for a couple of
Yeah,
episodes,
man, I
is
had
that right?
Milos joining. Yeah, man, I put Milos making oxtail with me because I took him to the Caribbean shop, Rice and Tings.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I took him to Rice and Tings.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And
When
he-
you found that, you must have been buzzing.
Oh, it's goodies. Goodies. If you guys want to sponsor me, shout me. Shout me. Deliverables, shout me. But
And a screw job.
but yeah, Milos was like, bro, that oxtail was amazing. You got to show me how you make yours. I said, bro, no worries. Let's go. I have my butchers on fish ponds, Bristol Halal Butchers, get my oxtail from there, my goat from there, get everything from there. And I took him on a whole day with me. Went to the butchers, came back, got all the ingredients, and I cooked him. He's like, bro, it's going to my rotation now, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get everybody on the episode. Hey, Flyers guys, if anyone wants to join the episode, you have my phone. Call me.
There you go. What's your so? What would you say actually is your go-to? If you say like, this is my showstopper. This is my
showstopper.
If someone says to you like, right, you got like, impress me with your best meal. What are you putting together?
Ooh.
Good question, Joel.
All right. Okay. What cuisine are we going though? Or
It can be anything you like. So like, if you, I know you've done all the videos online of some of your recipes and stuff. But if someone's like, okay, let's say you've got your first date or something, you really want to
because then you can't choose food that like gets messy. That might be the thing.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, I don't
good.
care.
Okay.
Okay. This is a live example. Red Thai curry. I made that.
It was good.
It was let's just say it was really good. And then because that's one that's easy to make, plus has a lot of flavor in it for the other person to enjoy. And then if I have some time, I'll go oxtail curry goat, because I think those two are like. Because let me put you onto a little game here, right?
I'm ready.
So once you make it, it takes like 2 hours to stew and all that. That's great time to conversate. You can learn about her. She can learn about you. Do you know what I mean? Come on. That's what I'm saying, you know? We can figure this out. We can get to know each other better. And then when we're done, the food's ready. We're eating. We're enjoying. Build a connection.
If anyone's interested in that date idea, do slide into JB's DMs and see if we can make it happen.
JBrown235.
And that's working for you now, mate, because you were in loads of relationships, right?
Can't say that.
You got to be selective. You can't be doing it with everybody now. Come on.
Obviously, you're living with Marcus Delpesh this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you cooking for him?
No.
Not at all.
Nah, Mark's a grown man.
He is grown.
Yeah, he's a grown man.
He probably eats a lot more as food as well. He's a big lad.
Yeah, but you also got to realize this is my only thing about cooking with other. Like, let's say I cook at the same time. I like to eat at my time. I like to cook my time. I don't want to be like, yo, bro, you ready to eat? Like, nah, I'm not hungry. That's your own fault. I'm cooking, I'm eating. You can make whatever you want after. See? No, man.
So what time's Marcus cooking then?
Depends. It's just random.
He just doesn't. He just
Cooks whenever.
Whenever he wants.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Have you been taking any tips from Zoe Thompson for away games? Because obviously
100%.
she cooks for the team on away days on the bus.
Yes, 100%.
And the food that you guys get and staff on the way back from games, away games, unbelievable.
Oh, goodies. Shout out Zoe. She showed me how to make her cake last week.
Oh, really?
It was
Which one?
It was a
Lemon drizz?
Nope, spiced apple cake.
Oh.
The upside down one. No.
No. So it's obviously regular sponge, layer of apple, nutmeg, cinnamon, spices, another layer of sponge, same thing on top, brown sugar to get it crispy. Oof.
Have you made it yet?
Yeah, I made it last week.
Okay.
It was exceptional ease. Zoe, shout you out.
Shout out to Zoe. Yeah, shout out indeed. Unbelievable food. I love that. It's great diving into your hobbies, and I love to see that you're doing so much outside of the basketball court, including cutting your own hair.
Oh, I do graphic design, by the way, too.
He does do graphic design as well. Shout out the page.
That's not, brown.graphics_. If you guys ever need anything, give me a shout.
Love that. And there's some pretty good stuff in there. You're doing stuff like with the university, the college.
Yeah,
Stuff on the screens?
so UEL,
That's it,
University
UEL.
East London Sport. Shout out my boy Ade. He is the senior marketing manager, so it was a good in there. I also work with an AAU team in Seattle, which is another big one. I do freelance.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I do freelancing as well, and then it's good, man. It also keeps me grounded because it keeps me doing something that's outside of basketball to make sure that I'm not losing my mind at times.
Love that. A man of many talents,
Have to be.
including the basketball court, and also being a barber. But speaking of barbers, that actually tees me up quite nicely to a piece of content we've got lined up. Because a couple what? It's just trying to link it all together. What's up with that? Do you like my little link here?
Yeah, really smooth, bro.
Trying to
Loved
get my
it,
link
loved
going,
it.
mate. Let me crack on,
Sorry,
right?
crack on.
Speaking of barbers, a couple of weeks ago, we actually sent a couple of the Flyers players down to our partners at the Enhanced Barbershop to put them to the test. Now, the barbershop is a place where players like to get hot takes off their chest. They have conversations. And we had Cam Holden, Christon, Evan Walshe in the barber's chair. But instead of just a trim, we put them in the hot seat and asked them to react to some of British basketball's biggest hot takes. and there are some spicy ones in there, Sam. You ready to go to this VT package?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's head on down to the Enhanced Barbershop.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers Podcast, where we have taken the show on the road. We're down here in the Enhanced Barbershop, and I'm joined by none other than our Bristol Flyers club barber, Jay the Barber from the Enhanced Barbershop. Jay, how you doing, man?
Pleasure to have you guys here.
It's good to be here.
First time you guys are actually here. I mean, the players have been here, but you, Steve, and the guys, first time down here.
Well, last time we had you on our podcast, we had you down at our place in the studio, and we turned the place into a pop-up barbershop, but it's good to get down here and see it in the flesh. Tell us about the space, mate, because it looks incredible.
So here we have 6 barbers, we have a braider, we also got a chiropractor in the back. Been here for about 3 years now. It's going good. It's nice different environment. Staple's a bit quirky. See a lot on a daily basis, but up is nice.
And tell us about the vision for this place. What do you want this place to be in terms of not just a barbershop, but a place for members of the community to hang out?
It's got to a point where we kind of built a culture here where it's mostly youthful people coming. We still have older people coming as well, but it's more about having a space for youth to come here, feel comfortable, open up about certain conversations. For example, we partner with a sexual health community charity in Bristol, and just kind of try to educate the youth and point them in the right direction.
I love that. You mentioned, obviously, you've been here for about 3 years now. Kind of tell us how the whole idea started, sort of where were the roots for the Enhanced Barbershop?
I was in the other barbershop in Fishbourne, it's called Biggs. I was about 18 when I said, you know what, I've been here for 5 years, let's take it to the next step, you know. I'm 3 years on, yeah, I'm 22, 3 years been here, and it's going good.
And obviously you've built the strong connection now with the Flyers going forward. And it's been a number of years now, this partnership. It's grown from strength to strength.
I think it's the 3rd year now.
Yeah, 3 years, exactly. So tell us how the partnership first came about and how much you've enjoyed watching it grow over the last few years.
I mean, 4 years ago now, Mike Miller, I was cutting him the 2 seasons he was here. And then I was at a game one time and I must have kind of inquired about the sponsorships, and then he put me in the right direction, and then yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
I think the sponsorship did good for us, especially when we first opened, just building brand awareness. People kind of see, oh, that barbershop's at the side of Flyers. Why are they there? What do they offer? And it's brought a few people in.
And you guys have had benefits, like you took part in the sponsors basketball tournament the other week. Tell us how you got on.
We finished second. Next year we're winning.
You got beat by We Do Data in the finals, but I heard it was very close indeed.
3 points.
Was it?
Yeah, next year we blow out everyone.
Oh man, that's so tough though. It's good though. It's good to get down there and do that sort of stuff though, and engage other sponsors as well, right? Because that networking ability.
I mean, that was the first time most of us ever played basketball like properly. I said for next year, we'll definitely do some training sessions because we need to bring home the dub.
Love it. Well, Jay, we've talked a lot about the barbershop, but it's time to get some of these players into the hot seat. We've got Cam Holden, Christon, Evan Walshe stepping up, and they're going to take on some of British basketball's biggest hot takes. You ready to get to it?
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hot take number 1. Having 4 trophies available in a season is too many. Discuss.
4 is a lot. I don't think we should get a trophy for winning the regular season. I feel like that should just be like you get your recognition for winning the season, but I don't think you should get a trophy for that.
Yeah, I think 4 is too many. I think we should get rid of the cup. I feel like the cup is just too many trophies. And I feel like we should just keep the trophy, final, and a regular season champ.
I think 3 is its max. I think playoffs is cool. I think you deservedly get one for winning the league because obviously it's a long season, and then one in-season competition. I think two's too many. So I think 3 is probably the sweet spot for the trophies winning in a year.
All right, next hot take. The SLB needs an all-star game. What are your thoughts?
I feel like an all-star game would be beneficial just for the mental part of the athletes. You know, being able to just be around other guys from other teams because a lot of people in the league kind of know each other. So I'd say an all-star game would be beneficial to just, you know, let guys kind of relax, let their hair down, have a good outing, and be able to just have some more fun with it.
Yeah, I think we should do an all-star game, but I think it should be North versus South. But I think they should only pay the winners to keep it competitive.
Yeah, I think a showcase event for the league is great. Obviously, we saw it a few years back in the top flight in this country. I think, we have some great talent and some great personalities. And I think for people to be able to be celebrated for their in-season success and it be a league-wide event for, teams to celebrate their own players that are in it, I think it's a great thing. Can only be good for the league.
With only 9 teams in the league, the playoffs should be top 4 or top 6 instead of top 8. What do you think?
That's interesting. I quite like that, actually. I mean, only one team miss out on the playoffs with our current format. I think, like a top 6 little play-in for 5 and 6, and then you've got, something like that. I think putting more emphasis on a strong regular season is a good way for our league to go. It would definitely, would make games a lot more interesting going in. Like, there's a lot. Obviously, our season this year, from 2nd to 8th, it's within like 2 or 3 games. So it'd make for some interesting competition. I think it would be fun that way.
Next hot take: we should introduce promotion and relegation to British basketball.
I feel like it'd be something cool to try out for maybe 1 year and see how that goes. I feel like it would give guys that are trying to work their way up from BCB to possibly an SLB team more motivation to come out and play hard in the BCB league. But then again, it would also make the guys that are in the lower spots in the table of the league to play harder and to be able to not have to go down to BCB. So I think it'd be something to try out good for like maybe a year and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, just seeing like a team from the BCB come up and be in the Super League. Also keep pressure on the teams for the Super League to stay competitive and stay, sharp so they don't get relegated down.
I think personally that's how any sport should be. I think there should always be consequences for poor performance, and similarly you should get celebrated and rewarded for going above and beyond and being the best of the best. But I'd love to see a hierarchy where we have competitive leagues where people can go down and people can come up. Similarly, I think some of the teams below us now are getting towards a level where they can compete in the top flight. So personally, I'd love to see it. I think it would be a great shift for the sport in this country and give that hierarchy that's needed for professional sport to thrive.
Do you have any British basketball hot takes that you'd like to share right now in the hot seat?
Yeah, I got a few, but I'm gonna just leave one. I'm gonna leave one out here. Let the British players play. Let's go back to 3 or 4 import spots. There's a lot of great British players out there that are having to play away from home. That's my hot take. Let's review the rules on under 23 English players, domestic players, and foreign players. I think we need to get back to a lot of other teams prioritising putting British talent on the basketball court, and giving the guys a chance to play at home. Put that one in its fullest. I want the people to hear that.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Well, spicy takes from the players there. Some very hot takes, in fact. Why so spicy? JB, some hot takes there from the lads. There's a few of them. There was should there be an all-star game? Should there be top 4, top 6 in playoffs? Promotion and relegation from BCB. What are your thoughts on some of them? Have you got any hot takes?
Do you agree with Cam on what he said?
It's funny because we're actually doing this bit without JB seeing the VT that you've just watched, if you're watching the podcast. So
Which Cam?
Christon.
100%. Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Agree with all more.
Yeah. Shout out to Barber J and our partners at Enhanced Barbershop for hosting us. If you want to check them out, you can follow them on socials at Enhanced Barbershop, or you can book an appointment at their barbershop on Staple Hill online via their website, enhancedbarbershop.nearcut.com. JB, time for us to run it back. We've got a section of the podcast called Run It Back. Whenever we get a new guy on the podcast, we want to learn more about their background, their basketball upbringing, how they got into the sport that we love.
Yep.
And your basketball wasn't your first sport, was it? You started off playing football.
Yeah, so my brother was kind of the person that got me into football. He was like really good. Had like trials for Chelsea, Arsenal and stuff, but had a knee injury later on. But me, I played football from when I was damn near when I could walk up until when I was like 13, 14. Played for a few clubs here, did a little bit of Sunday League, and then...
Brentford fan?
For sure.
Ah, nice.
Down the road, I used to go to Griffin Park. Now, haven't been to a game in forever. But £5 Saturdays, guys. You don't know about that. But, so I picked up basketball when I was 14. I went to Lambton School. It was kind of a funny way. I kind of picked up basketball by accident. When I was in school, I had kind of like a slick mouth. Especially, I was able to say what I wanted, get teachers kind of riled up without getting in trouble. I was teetering the fine line, you know what I mean? But my form tutor at the time, she's like, look, you need to like buckle up your ideas because it's gonna get you in trouble eventually. I was a smart kid, so they couldn't say anything about my academic portion of it. So she was like, you need to go play basketball. The coach there is gonna whip you into tip-top shape. So I went to basketball, picked it up. I was a year late. I was like year 8, middle end year 8. And Alan Keane was the coach at the time. He was at the time he was a hard-nosed, no-nonsense coach. So there was no room for slick talk at all. So picked up basketball there, and it was kind of one of those things. I was starting from ground zero. I couldn't do a layup. My feet were pretty good because obviously playing football before, so I could like layups, footwork and stuff was pretty easy. But eventually, it got to the point where I kind of just fell in love with it. I'm one of those people that if I do something I don't like to be bad at all, so I'm going to obsess with it. And I was in the gym 7 a.m. most mornings by myself. We were practicing 7 a.m. I was there with the elders. I was like obsessed with basketball every lunchtime, every after school, before school. And then I got better, but it was one of those big fish, small pond. And the pond was very small. And so I ended up asking my coach, can I go to Barking Abbey? He was like, it's probably not going to be the best option for you now because you probably won't play. You're probably going to sit there for 3 years, 2 years, and end up wasting your time. So did all my GCSEs, got good grades, ended up going to Canterbury Academy. That's where I moved out, lived in a house. Shout out Billy Beddoe. He was kind of like my house leader kind of guy. It was a change because obviously I'm living by myself now. I'm doing cooking, cleaning, and doing all that kind of stuff. But played there for 2 years, did my A-levels, had a lackluster first year, but it was a learning first year, kind of opened my eyes to the point where I was like, okay, I'm not that good. And we're losing games. So I'm like, I'm really not that good. So I came on for like 5-6 minutes. I would play defense. I would, impact the game the best I could. Jesse at the time, Jesse Suzanne, shout out Jesse. We see him once in a while at practices. He comes to our practices sometimes now, but he kind of took me and really took me under his wing. Like he understood that my situation, I kind of needed guidance. And for me, I'm very open to guidance because I know that at the time I didn't think so, but I know like I don't know a lot. But at the time I was like, I know everything and you can't tell me anything. But now I'm a little bit more responsive to people. But no, he took me underneath my wing. Like he was very helpful with like just everything in general. And then that summer was when I got my first national team call-up. I was with 3-on-3 at the time. It was me, Robin Bedford, Callan Lowe, and Adriana Bellinio. We played well. I love 3-on-3. 3-on-3 is open court. It's kind of like my thing. Open, give me space, and let me just get going. I spent the whole summer with the 2 OGs I mentioned. Dizzy, we call him Diz, and then Khalil. They took me on. I'm talking about every single day for the whole summer. We were in the gym, lifting, basketball, and that was the first time I've ever like taken an off season seriously. Because I didn't really know off season. I thought you just played and came the next season, you were just automatically better. But I came back the next year and I like dominated the league. I went to Den Camp that summer as well. Didn't get ranked, but eventually at the end of the year, like I dominated. I was player of the year, EABL that year. I got my first England like 5-on-5 call up that year as well. But it kind of highlights me that like one summer can really change your whole trajectory in anything, your regular life or sports. And then went to Den Camp again, finished 6th. Would have loved the top 5 finish. Some say there's politics. I say there was politics. We moved though; it doesn't exist.
Who picks that? Is it Luol who picks the?
So the top they picked 50 guys to go there.
Yeah.
And then you get ranked based on your camp's performance. I personally think I was top 5. Everybody else thinks I was top 5. Someone cheated me there, but it doesn't exist anymore, so I can say these things. And so after that, that's when I moved to Barking Abbey. I'd finished my A-levels, finished my BTEC, and I went to Barking. A-levels are no joke, by the way, guys. No joke. It's very difficult. I did history, English, and triple BTECs.
Those are the worst as well.
Wasn't healthy. Listen, I was struggling, let's put it that way. But did my SATs as well. So I went to Barking for my last year, and I just did BTEC business. I was a pro before I was in college. Like BTEC was super easy at the time. So for me, I was just in the gym all the time, lifting, basketball some more, finished school, basketball some more. So it was a great year for me. That's when I picked up like my first offers, one from Fresno Pacific and one from Newbury College, like my first two. I wasn't like highly recruited at all, but I always thought like I could do it. Like I said, no one could tell me I can't do anything. So got to finish the year out, went to the under-20s with that year. I said no. I went straight to college, started my year at Fresno, played a year at Fresno. Just COVID had hit. I didn't really like the situation. I wanted to be more of the guy, might have a better situation, all that kind of stuff. So I went to a JUCO in North Dakota. A lot of nonsense went down, right? I had deaths in the family. Me and the coach weren't seeing eye to eye. Just the whole team and him were like, it was like one against 15, like it just against him. So it just wasn't a good situation for all of us. And he wasn't, as a leader, as a person, just wasn't the person that should be leading a team, in my opinion. Down that hill to this day. But left there and I kind of quit basketball. Like I was done. I only was in JUCO for about 4.5, 5 months at the time. It's in a dark place. Basically, best way to put it, I was in a dark place. I didn't want to play basketball anymore. I just wanted to go home and figure out life because I was just angry at the world. Not a good place to be in, but for me, I was like, I'm going to figure it out. I have to. It's like, if I go back to basketball, if I go back to regular life, I'm going to have to pick one. There is no in between. So did that, and as I was going home, because I have family in Colorado, so I was staying with them up until the Christmas break was over, and I was going to just go home and start, like, go to uni in England and get all that stuff sorted out. Then a school in Missouri called me, Central Methodist, and I played there for a year and a half. The reason it took me so long to get the school was the coach that released me from the junior college didn't release me electronically. So technically he had done it on paper, but not electronically. So no schools could recruit me technically because I was on their roster still.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that till a friend of mine asked the coach to recruit me, and he said, I can't do that because he's not this. But that was like maybe a week before I booked my flight to go home and stuff. So I was like, I'm scrambling, calling this coach. I'm calling the AD and everything, and no one was answering. And then eventually I got through to someone higher up, and they were like, oh, that's ridiculous. We'll get it done for you. So they got that done. Picked up that school late. Went there for a year and a half. Only played half the season of the 2021 season. It was like honorable mention, all conference. And then I still had that like dream of going Division 1. It was just kind of my thing. Like I said, no one could tell me I wasn't doing it. Went into the portal, didn't get much. Came back the next year, same team. Gave them national team berth for the first national tournament berth for the first time in a long time. I led the team in scoring, assists, and stuff. And then I would have won Player of the Year, but the guy in my league was like 27, so I wasn't winning. It was kind of unfair, but that's how the retrospect of basketball was going at the time in college. Went to Division 1, went to Montana. Had a good preseason, didn't really play much. It got to the point where I was like, I don't want to jeopardize my pro aspects to kind of like bet on myself in a situation where I know I can't control a lot, because I'm real myself at the time. So I was like, I'm here, I need to finish my master's, because I already came my master's, did my MBA. So I was like, I need to finish that. That's like the main goal, because I know, yeah, the basketball portion is cool, but eventually I'm not going to be able to play. So I need to be able to have that in my back pocket for whenever this does stop. So my coach was, he's a very good human. So he's like, look, we'll pay for you to finish your classes. So I finished my classes. I transferred down to an NAI school, University of Cumberland. Played my year there, was an All-American. We won a lot. And yeah, went to Sligo the year afterwards. Wasn't an easy ride getting to Sligo. Agent wasn't the best. Essentially got no looks at all the whole summer. I was stressing, but I also wasn't at the same time up until like the last 2 weeks of August, because I was like, all my friends are gone. I'm the only one left at home. This is getting scary. So I was like, because I'd turned down job offers to kind of like take the basketball situation. So I got to the point where I was like, I need to sit down with myself and have a talk and figure this out. But I ended up picking up. Shout out my boy Tom Child, one of my buddies. Tom Child helped me because he was at Sligo All Stars. He'd been there prior a couple of years, and he had asked around if anybody knew any British players that were available. And it turns out no one knew I was available, which is quite surprising considering I put myself out there all the time.
Wow.
But I went to Sligo for a year, played really well, very solid stats, and then here I am now.
You say very solid stats. 19 points, 5 rebounds a game in your rookie season. Just talk us through how does the Irish Super League compare to the level that you're playing in like the British Super League now?
So I didn't know much about the Irish Super League. I'll be so frank, I knew nothing about it because it was never something I kind of envisioned myself going to, but it was definitely an eye-opening situation. I feel like the league itself is underrated. I feel like compared to this league, some teams can definitely give some SLB teams like a good game for sure. I think it's when it's only a 2 American league compared to a 6 American league. And they also have a rule now where you have to play 2 Irish guys all the time. So unfortunately, the caliber there's not enough good Irish guys to have 2 per team, I don't personally think. And so when I was playing, it was 1, which is perfectly fine. But 2 gets a little difficult. But it's definitely a level jump up, I think, for sure.
Just going back, there's lots to unpack from your college career. Did you ever cross paths with Tevin Ollison? Because he was a player who was at University of Cumberland as well.
Yeah, so he was at the Cumberlands, and when I'd commit there, he was here. And so he was here at the time.
First year or second year?
First year,
yeah.
2023-24. So that was his first year here. And I was just watching. Like, I didn't really know him. I spoke to him like briefly just because he had gone to the Cumberlands. But, as time gone on, with social media, it's so easy to connect with people. And, I followed him on Instagram and just had conversations with him about the professional life and the Cumberlands as a whole, really.
Wow. That's amazing. I love that. There's so many connections because the basketball community is just so small. So when you find out there's a little connection there that links everyone back to the Flyers, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's insane. It's like a massive spider web.
Yeah. And then you obviously go from the Irish Super League to coming to play for Flyers. Just take us back to that moment. Obviously, you finish your season in Ireland. What does that summer then look like for you? Do you remember your first conversation with Coach Kapoulis, or what was like your first reaction when you found out that there was interest from Bristol Flyers?
Yeah, so I actually got a new agent. So I ended up going with Nick Vantage at Vantage Basketball. And this offseason was a little different. It wasn't as stressful. I think my offseason before, because there was nothing coming in, it was kind of difficult, like mentally. Obviously playing a year, it kind of put me not that much higher, but it put me in a place where people could actually like see me and have professional film and stuff. So it was like the process was a little bit smoother. It came earlier rather than later. So having these kind of conversations, I had a few calls with a couple of teams in the league. Andreas came in and called him first. Did my research, obviously. And talked to a couple of people. Obviously spoke to Jelani, spoke to Tevin. And it got to the point where I was like, this is a good situation, especially with the ENBL, the actual playing of British guys, and just the community as a whole, really, because Jelani and Tevin had nothing but good things to say. So
that certainly paid off, because now you've got your first GB call up, and we're setting you well on your way to getting those regular caps every international window. So
that's the goal.
It's a great story. I love it. I just love the whole the way that the club's been able to give you that opportunity, and now you've just sort of taken it both hands and just really ridden with it. And we love to hear about your experience in the GB training camp, and just being a part of that journey for us is amazing as a club. So, and now here you are on the podcast. Who would have thought? Time for us to get to our quick fire questions. And if you've seen the podcast before, you know what happens here. Usually we have our little desk, but we don't have a little desk today because
Dan broke it.
Dan did break it. So,
skipping out on me, guys.
We're going to
Skipping out
do
on me.
this. I'm going to add it all in post, but we're going to get 30 seconds on the clock, and you have to answer as many questions as you possibly can in 30 seconds.
Okay.
The score to beat, producer Dan, hasn't got a microphone, but I think it's 10. Is that right? He's
10.
10.
He's holding up 10 fingers.
Minimum.
Right, are you ready to go?
Diddle diddle dum.
Yeah, Sam has the sound effects in. We had our own sound effects here.
Yeah, nice.
I got the questions. Right, JB, you got 30 seconds on the clock.
Yep.
Answer as many questions as you possibly can. Your time starts now. What's your go-to pre-game meal?
Fried rice.
What's your favourite thing to do on a day off?
Sit and read.
Who on the team needs to visit the barber ASAP?
Marcus Delpesh.
Would you rather make a game winner or have a triple-double?
Triple dub.
Name one artist on your pre-game playlist.
R. Kelly.
Who's the biggest trash talker on the team?
Cam Holden.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Bad manners.
What's your favourite shoe to hoop in?
Kobe Fives.
What's the last thing you watched on Netflix?
SpongeBob.
What's your dream holiday destination?
Thailand.
Who's your favourite NBA player growing up?
John Wall.
What football team do you support?
Brentford.
Oh, there we go.
That was rapid. Dan, do we have any answers there, brother? We do.
Yes! We got 12! You smashed it!
I'm trying to tell you guys, I have to be good at things.
I'll tell you what, lucky you didn't get any more because I was running out of questions at the moment, so I don't know what we would have done if we ran out of questions. But there we go. And again, with a bit of podcast magic, it's time for us to get to the news!
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, it's time for us to get to this week's news, and lots to discuss since our last podcast episode, because it's been about 3 weeks or so.
I think so.
We're not going to dive into the 2 results at the weekend too much, but I do want to sort of touch on it because we do obviously have to talk about the run of form at the moment within the team. Sunday saw us lose our 4th straight game. JB, I know I'm sure you guys have sat down and chat internally amongst you as a group throughout the weekend, last few days. Just talk us through what the environment's like in camp at the moment, having gone through the 2 games at the weekend.
You know, it's not good to lose. It's just that simple. Like, it's not a good feeling. I feel like, you know, it's now the home stretch. So a lot of us, well, all of us have had a conversation with each other to the point where now we know that there's not much time left. So for us, we're kind of taking this to the point where it's balls to the wall now. Like, there is nothing else you can do. It sounds cliche, but a lot of the time we're probably not going to have the same team ever again. We're not going to see the same people ever again. Like, the turnover in basketball is very, very quick. So it's now, we have the potential. We've shown it in spurts in games, and we know all we have to do is put together a good performance, and we can beat anybody. As we've seen, like, we beat London, we beat all the top teams. It's really on us, and I think everybody is now, like, extremely dialed in to make sure that we're able to finish this out as strong as possible and push for a top 4 finish.
It's so tricky in basketball because form is such a strange thing, in that, you know, suddenly we'll go on a great run of form and then suddenly you'll go 1-7. And if I was to push you to sort of say, like, what has been the key factor in this sort of sudden turn of form in recent weeks, like what do you put that down to?
Our consistency. I feel like we go through quarters where we're amazing, like, we look like the best team in the league, but then we go through spurts where we just look terrible. Like, it's just how it is. Like, we'll look like we've been overpowered by another team, knowing it's only been a possession. I think it's for us, it's staying consistent to everything that's working and realizing that we can do it. It's just more so in ourselves. Like I said, we've beaten all the best teams, so it's for us. It's staying true to what's working and not panicking.
I know we didn't have Joe Anderson with us over the last 2 games. Sort of, how much of an impact has that had from the weekend? Because essentially, as the point guard, it's the one position where everything runs through the point guard, and then, for example, that then, as a result, you're having to then be thrusted into more minutes and perhaps not what you're used to playing. How much of an impact has that had, not having Joe Anderson?
Of course, a big impact. Joe's someone that you know, commands a lot of attention from other teams. Like, he extremely good playmaker, shoots the ball extremely well, and even if he's not doing him regularly, he still commands a lot, even off the ball. And it you know, we obviously miss that kind of playmaking. I'm still learning the position I'm in right now, so for me, it's now kind of learning a bit more on the fly and getting into boat. But for me, I'm learning the best I can. I feel like I'm starting to try and impact the team in a winning capacity the best I can too.
I've noticed, even through, like, the bad run of form, the group is still, from an outsider looking in, the group still seems tight knit together.
Yeah, you have to be.
And this year in particular, I haven't seen a team where the guys just get on with each other. Everyone gets on with everyone, and every player we've had that comes sit in your seat that you're sat in right now comes on the show and says it, and like we generally get on, and we speak to coach, and coach is always like, this is like a generally a really great group of guys to coach this year. But it's that's the one thing that you guys have that can hopefully help turn around this form, is that you guys are just so close together, right?
Yeah, I think it's something that is definitely evident in the closer games, because you can tell when a team doesn't like each other, especially in games like that, because you can see the frustration on faces when things go wrong. I think for us, it's definitely a blessing, because I feel like a lot of teams, professionally or in college or any sport as a whole, not everybody likes everybody. It's just the reality of it. But on this team, like, we genuinely have good people, which is rare. And I think for us, we just need to be a bit more hard on each other to get the best out of each other. I think it's because we're so close, guys kind of teach on that line. But I believe, like, even after this kind of stretch of games, we're kind of taking that into our stride, and now we're a lot more dialed.
I'd also say you've had 2 or 3, maybe 4 games where, like, a couple of points in it, and it's one of those where someone makes a big shot, someone doesn't, and then you end up losing or winning the game. And I think what we've probably had more often than not, those close ones, we've ended up not winning those games, right? Which in other years we could have won more of them, if you know what I mean. And that's just sometimes the way basketball is, right?
Yeah, it's just basketball's such a very intricate game that one thing could cause everything to kind of spiral. But I think for us, those close games kind of highlight that we can play, that we can hang with everybody. It's just a few possessions in the game that lead us to this point rather than us winning comfortably. So.
Yeah. Well, as you say, on the home stretch now, Leicester Riders this Sunday, Easter Sunday. You can watch that game on DAZN. It's a 3 p.m. tip-off
3 p.m.
At the Mattioli Arena. And Keely Johnson's playing for Leicester Riders. You see that, Sam?
Kedrian Johnson. I did see that. That's weird, isn't it?
He's set to make his debut against us. So that will be adds a little bit of spice to the game.
Yeah.
With love, Keedy. I've got a lot of love for you. Hope you play terribly, mate.
You looking forward to that one, JB?
Yeah, it should be a fun one. I got a couple of friends that I grew up playing with on the Leicester Riders team. So it's
Who's that?
Tomoa Suleiman played on the same team growing up, and then Flynn Bournemouth, he played at Barking Abbey same time as me. So
He's got a 35-point game last week. You see
he
that?
had a good one. I'm happy for him, man. He deserves it.
But not Sunday.
But not against
Not
us.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Can't do that Sunday.
Well, it should be an exciting game. We just say 3 p.m. on DAZN on Easter Sunday. Also, some big games coming up at home to round out the regular season. And we're down to our last few tickets because tickets are just flying for our remaining home games.
Good.
We've got
Keep
London
coming.
Lions at the Wise Campus Friday, April 10th. Big crowd expected for that one, taking on the league leaders at home. And then Sunday, April 19th, Surrey 89ers in town at the SGS College Arena before we take on Newcastle Eagles on the final day of the regular season, Sunday, April 26th. As you say, tickets for all 3 of those games are flying, almost sold out. So get yourself to the Bristol Flyers website to get those last few tickets and make sure you grab your seats before it's too late.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, be there or be a square. Also, look out for news, by the way, on playoffs. We haven't mathematically qualified for playoffs yet. It's looking very likely we will. We're little dates for your diary. The first weekend of May, we're looking at for our playoff games, home and away, aggregate score. We love aggregate basketball, Sam. So look out for those dates coming out soon. As soon as we mathematically qualify, I think it's like 1 more win or 2 more wins we need to mathematically qualify for playoffs. So keep that weekend in your diary, and we'll put some comms out as soon as we know more. Other news to get to. I've got some great news here to talk about, courtesy of JB. He's kindly donated 2 pairs of his Jordans to be raffled off to help us raise money for our Flyers community program. I've got them right here as I reach under my desk.
Lovely.
Not 1, but 2 pairs of Jordans.
Potentially more. Potentially
JB,
more.
talk to us about these shoes, JB.
Yeah, so we have a pair of Jordan 1s, highs, that have been signed by every player on the team, which is, buy the raffles, join us, because why would you not want to be fresh and be part of the Bristol Flyers? Let's be serious. And then the other pair, a pair of Jordan 1 lows, shadow backboards. You can look fly. I got small feet, guys, I'm sorry, but definitely a good pickup regardless, because it's going to a a good place.
I reckon, Joel, you got your eyes on one of these, haven't you?
This literally is my size, by the way. So just saying, I might actually put some money in the raffle.
That's what I'm saying. Come
I was
join
tempted
us.
to just take it for myself, but no, we've got to get some money for the Flyers community. So I've got some information about how we can get involved with these. If you want to get involved, you can head to the Bristol Flyers website right now to grab your raffle tickets. They're just £2.50 each. You can get 5 tickets for a tenner, so plenty of chances to win. The raffle closes on Monday, April 27th, so make sure you get involved before then. Best of luck, and massive thanks to you, JB, for kindly donating these shoes to be auctioned off. And it's a great cause as well. It goes towards Project Takeoff, which helps disadvantaged kids get into the sport that we love. Perhaps there's some children who can't afford to play basketball growing up, and all the money raised from this, plus our shirt off the back raffles we've been doing throughout the season, goes towards getting kids into basketball. So thank you so much for donating those. You've been an absolute legend for doing that, and we really appreciate it. And hopefully, maybe at our end of season event, perhaps we might get you to help us present the total money raised for some of our auctions, including these shoes as well.
Awesome.
And that's it for this week's news.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, time for us to get to our mailbag section. Time for us to round out the episode of the podcast. We've got some questions that have come in from the fans. We asked fans to send in their questions to UJB. We had a lot of questions come through on Instagram. I think a lot more come through on Instagram because they're anonymous. They don't have to put them in publicly. So we've got a few we could read out here. First question from Instagram. What's your best advice for someone wanting to turn pro?
Oh, make sure you handle your life like professional now. I don't know whatever stage you're in, but you have to be able to dominate where you are, to the max, and then be able to live like a pro, physically, mentally. Make sure you're eating right, and eventually, as you get that done, reach out to an agent, and then work out from there.
No, I love that. Another question for you from Instagram. What's been your favourite dunk of your career?
Ooh. My favourite dunk of my career was I was at Central Methodist. We were in the national tournament. We were playing a team called, I forget the name, but it was in Texas. I caught it off a transition from my big man, shout out Fody. I got it from the big man, went down with the left, caught it on his head. It was a big one. I'm going to give you guys the tape.
You got the tape.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I'll put it up in the post. Right now is where you'll see it on screen. There it is. Look. What dunk that is. Amazing play.
Oh, his face!
That's a huge play.
Or actually,
the
one against Surrey.
That was nice.
Yeah, the one against Surrey.
The crossover. Yeah. I'll put that up on screen right now as well. There it is. That was massive. I think that was my favourite dunk this season, actually.
Yeah. High flyer.
Yeah, he is a high flyer. Very much so. Jesse Cezanne on Instagram has been in touch. He wants to know, what's the biggest lesson you've learned as a junior player that helps you now as a pro?
Perception is everything. He taught me that one. Perception is everything. Because you may think you're right, but really and truly, you may do something with the intention of it coming out a certain way. But if the other person doesn't see it like that, then technically you're wrong. In the best way to put it. And then later on in my career, I kind of phrased it as the coach's perception is your reality. So you kind of have to work around that way. I
love that. Sam, you got the next question?
We are heading to food/cooking corner.
Oh my God, we had loads of questions coming on food. Loads of questions.
MXL Hendo, do you know who that is? No. On Instagram says, when's the cookbook coming out?
You know what's crazy? I actually got this in the works. I've started jotting it down recently in my book. I wanted to do a rotating 5 recipe a month ebook.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm working on it right now. So
you'd be like the next,
yeah, so soon.
You'd be like the next Joe Wicks. That's how Joe Wicks started on, got famous. He did all his Instagram videos, made cookbooks. And the rest is history.
And that right there is leaning 15.
Isn't that how he did this? It's Joe Wicks here.
Yeah.
Knock off Joe Wicks over here.
Brilliant. Team.
Pasquale Landolfi says, what's your favourite Italian dish?
Ooh. P, I'm sorry for the pronunciation there. It's a frutti di mare pizza.
Frutti di mare pizza. Is that seafood pizza?
Yeah. Fruit of the sea. Fruit of the sea pizza. Love it. Big fan.
Zoe Thompson has been in touch. Says, we know you like to cook, but who would you most like to cook for, and who would be at the dinner party table?
Ooh. Dead or alive?
And alive.
This can be completely up to you.
They're alive now, but they'll be dead when you're sitting with them. No, that's
after they eat your food. No joke.
They could be. That's a tough question.
It's a tough question.
Apart from me and Joel, obviously. Sorry.
You guys always invited, man. Yeah. How many at the dinner table, though?
4. You and 3 others.
Yeah.
We're making this up, but that's just what I'm going with.
4. Ooh, Marvin Gaye.
Nice.
Guy Fieri. And LMA.
LMA? Who's LMA?
The singer. Come on, man.
You learn something new every day. I'm going to start listening to some LMA.
I'm putting you on.
There we go. I got a couple more questions here.
Yeah.
Sean Spring on Facebook. This is a great question. I love that you engage with the fans watching and you seem to really appreciate us. My question is, if you could ask the Flyers fans to do one thing every game to help you guys, what would it be?
That is a great question because I love all our fans, by the way. I especially really appreciate you guys because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without you guys. Keep showing out. We love you. I would say, let's add this in. Everybody stand up till we get the first bucket.
Oh, we want to do that, do we?
I say we do that. And then as soon as the first bucket, everybody has to shout. It's mandatory from now on. Every game. Last games that are home games, before we score, everybody has to stand up.
I like that.
And we're standing until the first field goal or the first free throw goes, or just first point.
First bucket.
Any bucket.
Any bucket.
Anything.
Any bucket.
Great. All right, let's see if we can make it happen.
Okay,
you know what to do, Flyers fans.
Final thing from us. Fans love bringing you guys sweets or chocolate or whatever your favorite. They do. If they're listening this long, what is your favorite? And maybe they'll bring some to you next game.
Oh, that's a hard question because I have a sweet tooth, which is not a good thing. The dentist knows this. Shout out Cornelius.
Shout out Cornelius.
Shout out Cornelius.
It's like, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
I'm a big sweets guy. It's a problem. You know what? Pick a mix. Give me a great pick and mix, and we're besties. Let's put it that way.
There you go. I'll tell you what, we had Cam, Christon on the podcast. He said he liked caramel chocolate. And apparently he got loads the next game.
He did.
After
he
the podcast.
got like 4 of those. Yeah.
And we talked about it right at the end of the episode. And I said to the fans on the podcast, I was like, if you made it this far through the podcast, you are a dedicated fan.
You are a real fan for sure.
And he got loads of chocolate because they listened to the whole podcast.
Shout you guys out, man.
Best fans ever.
Best fans in the
Final question here from Instagram. What's the future look like for JB? Where do you see your basketball career taking you in future?
What's next? For me, for obviously finishing out the season as strong as possible. When it comes to level of basketball, I'm someone that, like, again, unwavering delusional confidence in myself. So I want to get to a point where, you know, I'm playing at the high level, potentially Euro Cup, Europe Cup, somewhere that I can be a household name. I also want to use basketball as a facilitator for myself outside of basketball. You know, I want to get to the point where I'm able to impact lives of children and fans and whatever, you know, potentially speaking to them and doing all that kind of stuff. So, and then, you know, moving on my social media side of it with the content, with cooking, funny videos, and yeah, I think it's just a slow ride right now, but it's on the way.
I love that. Amazing. Well, JB, I think that's a great place for us to actually wrap up this week's episode of the show. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you spending time out your busy schedule to come down and join us as always. And Sam, another great episode in the books.
Mate, it's so good to have. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. A couple bits of housekeeping to do before we wrap up this week's episode of the show. If you enjoy the Flyers podcast, please give us a rating and a review via your usual podcast providers. If you are watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment down here in the comments section if you're watching on YouTube. We should read out some comments, by the way, on our next episode.
We will.
I'll start collating them and then we'll read them out the next one.
We might.
How's that sound? We will. We do that. And to be fair, we've been better with our consistency in the last few weeks as well. We're sort of good to get back to doing them more consistently.
Yeah. Well, we need more comments first, so.
Yeah, well, that's it. Leave your comments and
Flyers
we'll get
fans,
to
comment.
Yeah, that's it. In the next episode. But until our next episode, all that's left for us to say is from Joel, Sam, and producer Dan. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Bristol Flyers podcast. Goodbye.
Peace.